Hey guys, welcome back. This is of course Force Friday. How are you guys doing? James?
Hello, welcome back to Force Friday, and Sean, how you doing today?
Better than I deserve. And we're going to start off today's show with just touching upon the hurricane situation here in Texas. Guys, keep it in perspective. Be respectful to those who are having a hard time. If you can volunteer, please do. If you can donate, please do. Even if you can just give 30 minutes of your time out of the day, please do. I have been working with helping relocate some FEMA clients, and it's terribly heartbreaking when you realize you can only do so much on your own. But of course, power of people, we can actually take care of our fellow Texans. Just if you have a chance to do just a little extra, I can't advocate for it enough.
Yeah, like seek out any charity that you can find. Everything adds up. You know, if it's a $5 donation or 50, whatever you can spare, those donations fuel a lot of these recovery efforts. And be it the Red Cross or the charity that J.J. Watt has set up, or just going out, and there are fundraisers all across Austin right now where they're donating portions of their beer sales or their taco sales. Just everything and everyone coming together to try to help out our fellow Texans in this time of need. I think if Jamie were here,
he may be activated.
Yeah, exactly. But if Jamie were here, he would say that you should use the force, let the force guide you in helping out people. But right now the other James is on the show, so I would say in honor of my Bat fandom, I would say, what would Bruce Wayne do? He would help our great city. He would help our fellow people in need. So do what you can. Like I say, it all adds up.
It all adds up, and it's a chance for you to be a superhero in the good way, not risking your neck, but be this other type of superhero like Bruce Wayne. And a special shout out to the Cajun Navy guys. You guys rock. The Texas Navy, you guys rock. I personally know some friends who have been rescued by you guys off the rooftops. You guys rock. That's the kind of thing that makes Texans proud, where you can stand 10 feet tall in any other state and go, yeah, well, I'm from Texas. So once again, thanks to you guys.
There you go. All right. And now
on to lighter news.
Onto the kind of movie distractions that we need to get through life in this crazy world that we live in. All right. I'm going to reactivate my phone here, and we're going to dive right into it, starting with some news that I'm sure Jamie wishes he was here to talk about, which is Star Wars book news. All right. We have 2 Star Wars book club announcements. Force Friday, we'll see the release of 2 new Star Wars canon books. We get Captain Phasma and Leia. We know we get the backstory on who Phasma is in her upcoming book. However, we do not know time frame wise where the Leia book will take place. So the first topic of the day was, where would you like to see the Leia book take place? John, what do you think?
For me, I'm kind of a mixed feelings, because once again, we get introduced to the Leia character when she's pretty young, so I'm kind of like, well, what is missing in that short span of time? I don't necessarily want to see her go to junior high, but I would like a little more backstory.
It's like if you were to watch a TV show, it's like, I don't want to see my favorite characters as kids. Yeah, you don't want to go that far.
Don't want to go that far. That definitely kills it, the kind of thing. What about you?
Call me a eternal political science major, but one part of Leia's backstory that I've never heard anything about is, what did she do in the Galactic Senate? Because I believe she's a member of that body. Right. We see her in A New Hope. For the first time, and I would like to know what it's like to be in a government body under a tyrannical rule. Because the other backdrop of A New Hope is that Tarkin makes the announcement that the Senate got disbanded.
Dissolved.
Yeah, got completely dissolved. So they got their power taken away in the aftermath of the Clone Wars. And what can they do to still try to be relevant, to still be like a illusion of democracy? There's a lot of storylines you could go with that, and you could show Leia slowly getting the rebellion put together, maybe diverting resources somewhere in the Empire to help them out, like relocating, troops, resources, supplies, you name it, maybe doing some behind-the-scenes spy work. I don't know. I think there's a lot of stories that you could take out of that and then tie it into the first Star Wars movie, just like they did with Rogue One.
Well, like I said, I definitely don't want to see her go to junior prom, but yeah, it's like, what was she doing? Did she start out as a galactic page? What is the system?
Yeah.
What is the system? You know, her mother was a part of the Galactic Senate. Was it the fact that she was elected or appointed because of her family name? You know, kind of thing. Even though she was raised in a different household, that was still a senatorial household. You know, it had a senator father, kind of like we do here in the States. We tend to elect descendants of politicians, ironically.
Yeah, like picture a book about Leia's rise to power and like borrow from one of the Kennedys or something.
Right. Yeah. Well, because or maybe the future with Chelsea Clinton. You know, a presidential figure that comes out of a presidential family.
There you go.
Or one of the Bush descendants. You know, we've already seen a second Bush. You know, we had the Adams. Now we could have Bush, Clinton. Who knows? As for Phasma, I'm not really sure where that would go. I mean, I have two visions in my mind. Did she have like a Jeffrey Dahmer kind of childhood, always mean and cruel? Or was she someone who was actually at heart a good person, but fell in line with the maybe some tragic event made her to where, there has to be people that stand up to the darkness. She just may have picked the wrong team.
Oh yeah, it's like there's that the new Battlefront game is going to feature a female Imperial protagonist. Maybe she was someone like that character who was loyal to the Empire and got embittered when it fell and then joined the First Order. So, I don't know.
But, and there are a lot of storylines out there that could be it. But it could be that maybe she was, idealistic, had something bad happen and went, idealism didn't work. Force works.
Yeah.
Like
idealism very rarely works out.
Yeah. Not unless it's backed up with a lot of bayonets. So
there you go. Well, one thing's for sure, I'm sure Jamie's going to be acting as a pusher to get us to read all these books eventually. Jamie loves his books, and he's a constant force in making you want to read them, and his enthusiasm is contagious.
Yes, and of course he had bounced around a Star Wars book reading club. That is something that is still kind of in the works.
There you go.
We have very hectic lives and schedules when we're not trying to be sure we don't float away.
Yeah, we actually work for a living here.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 2 on our list, let's see.
Yeah.
Does the clothes make the man? Now, there's a Hungarian magazine out there that has some new photos of Luke's new look. Now, we saw him as kind of the, bathrobe look there on the island.
Kind of a traditional Jedi garb almost. Yeah.
Almost like, for someone who once says the Jedi have played out, it's like, dude, you're still dressing like them. Yeah. Kind of like thing.
That's probably always got in his wardrobe. He wasn't ready for the whole, fall of the Jedi again.
Yeah. Well, I think deeply if you're a Jedi, you're still partially romantic. It's like people who still practice samurai arts. At heart, for you to really embrace something that is of the past, you're a romantic at heart. Somewhere.
But how does Luke look right now?
Well, from the images I've looked at and the translation, we were discussing the translation, does it mean Luke retaliates or does Luke strike back? I think it's more of a pun of Luke strikes back. To me, he's gone the progression of wearing white as the farm boy, moisture farmer, to the sand gray of Empire, to black of Jedi. And now, to me, he looks almost like a dark wizard, almost like Emperor Palpatine, wearing more of a robe. But this is cut to be a little more active. It's like, I'm wearing a robe and a hood, but this is definitely open in the front so you can still draw your weapons kind of thing. I made the equation. The problem with like Gandalf's robes is like, where does he find these keys? He's constantly moving around this giant volume of cloth.
Or like, where's he hide his pipe or something? I don't know.
Right, whereas this attire definitely still looks like a man of action. But it is still on the trend that he was on for a long time, wearing darker and darker colored clothing.
Yeah. I looked at the photo and at first I thought, well, is he going to go dark side in this movie? But we were talking before the show and it jogged my memory. I don't know. I lean more toward he doesn't, because he also wore black in Return of the Jedi, and he was kind of more that middle of the road type warrior. And maybe he just likes the color black.
He looks good in black.
Yeah.
It's very slimming.
Yeah, it's very slimming. Goes well with everything. Yeah.
Very clean. But it also may be a sign of departure because none of the if you look at the artwork, the Clone Wars, any of the anime series, Jedi's wore a lot of whites and brown. But this is distinctly a different look completely. I mean, it has different design, and maybe black is to represent a new order. I mean, and I'm just extrapolating, guys, and I apologize. When they broke off a different order of knights, different colors, and they almost always started with black.
Or just thinking out loud, it could be a way for him to honor his father, because in the Star Wars prequels, the Hayden Christensen.
We're a little black.
Anakin, in episode 3, that was his favorite outfit. It was black with like a hint of brown on there. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's just a Skywalker thing, man.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be, So
see how that goes. So we got that story. But I would also add that, when I saw the headline, Luke Strikes Back, it also really made me hope that Luke isn't totally moody throughout the entire movie, staying on the island. Like, I want him and Rey to have some good screen time together. But I also want him, maybe in a flashback sequence, which I think was hinted at in the trailer, or in a current timeline sequence in the movie. I want to see Luke whip out a lightsaber and kick some ass. I want to see him actually fight. He's only had that one action sequence really in, one for Empire and one for Return of the Jedi, where he was using a lightsaber, man. So, he's got to keep himself fresh. He's got to stay active. And like you say, I think he's dressing for a fight, so I hope he actually fights.
Yeah, I would hope so too, because once again, those who followed the old legend storylines, the old comic book storylines, just the old fan fiction storylines, Luke is supposed to be one of the most powerful Jedi ever. And I stress ever. And the thing is, he doesn't need a lightsaber. That's one of those things like with Kylo Ren stopping the bolt. Just didn't have to get there. So it would be really cool not only to see Luke with the lightsaber, but maybe Luke not using a lightsaber. It's like, oh, dead. Moving on.
Yeah. I'll take that too. I'll take what I can get, as long as it's pump your fist badass kind of action sequence. I don't know if it could top the Vader sequence in Rogue One, but as long as he's using the Force and just tearing apart fools left and right, do it.
Show what made the Jedi terrifying to go up against. Because unfortunately, Sir Alec Guinness had limitations of age and physical conditioning. The suit in other movies for Vader was limiting. There were all these other limitations, and they were always pushing past those limitations. Now, with the technology we have and the ability, just like seeing Vader in Rogue One, boom, 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 show why the Jedi were terrifying. Where they would only send 2 Jedi. It's like the old saying, you only one riot, one ranger. One war, 2 Jedi. Usually a Padawan, not even a full-fledged Jedi. Show us what we've been waiting for, I guess, as, I don't want to say like fangasm thing, but show us what we've really been waiting for. We've been waiting to see Luke return. He's older, he's wiser, has he made mistakes? Yes, but show us what he can do. Because so far it's been him standing on an island. I keep hearing Simon and Garfunkel's "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend" playing in the background. Don't want to see that. I want to see Luke. It's time to end this.
Yeah. I'm sure, being on that island for a long time, I know he's maybe doing the monk type thing, but I'm sure he also has got a lot of built up rage.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're a fan of Shaolin Kung Fu movies like I am, a lot of these monks practice, but they're still practicing 5-point finger death touch, like smash heart punch. It's like, I thought you guys were calm. Yeah, I'm very calm. Very calm. Very calm. Yeah. So,
very calm in my execution.
Heavy on the EX. Yeah. Well, we have some more behind the scenes photos, and you may have. We always have mixed feelings about behind the scenes photos because I'm touchy. I don't want the magic to go away. No. But we have an image of Finn in prison, and James brought up a really great point in our pre-show kind of commentary over jail time.
Yeah. Okay. I really hope that they do this right, because there's a very wrong way this could play out. I don't want to think too much about it. Like you said, we want to experience the movie and everything, but if there's one screenwriting trope that we've had pop up several times over the last 10 years almost, it's the idea of the villain wanting to get caught, or the idea that you would allow yourself to get caught. We saw this pop up in The Dark Knight, where Heath Ledger's Joker planned to get caught. They even copied that slightly in Dark Knight Rises, where Bane planned to get caught. In the Avengers, Loki planned to get caught. In Skyfall, the Silva character planned to get caught. Stop planning to get caught. It's lazy screenwriting, it's been done already, and I'm tired of it. Very tired of it. I'm sick of it. This is the most worked up I get if you know me. This is my angry face, pretty much. So it's been done already. We know already that Finn is going on a mission of his own, and that he's going to be infiltrating the casino set, and he's apparently being photographed with a kind of new type of stormtrooper called the Judicials, who are part of the First Order. So maybe Finn is being caught and tried for treason. So that would be more acceptable to me if it's not him planning to get caught as part of his mission. Because again, that shouldn't work. It was cool when Heath Ledger's Joker did it. That doesn't mean it's cool when everyone else does it.
It's been done to death. It was even done partially in Fast and the Furious.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. When you were taking writing, not that I'm a professional screenplay writer, but if you're taking writing tips from the Fast and the Furious, sorry Ben. Sorry, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Diesel, big fans, love the haircuts. It's just the issue that it's no longer a cool plot twist. It just isn't. It's boring.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, right about now they're going to reveal that they had always planned to be caught. And then the other character's going to reveal, and we always planned that you were going to plan, that you were always going to get caught. I don't want to see that. I really don't. But for Finn, playing the part of traitor is something that I brought up before.
Yes.
In writing tropes, when there is a betrayal, there's only one acceptable punishment for betrayal. And it's either self-sacrifice, ending in death, or it's death. That's usually how Hollywood works, and that's usually how really great stories work. That it conveys the message of, you betray, you sleep with the fishes.
Yeah. So I my hope is that Finn doesn't plan to get caught. It's just something that happens in the course of his undercover assignment, and he's discovered and he's captured. I feel like it's also in one of our previous shows he hinted that he does have a screen time with Captain Phasma, and maybe they have a conversation where they're just antagonizing each other and insulting each other, and he's talking about the flaws and everything they did, and she's talking about her point of view as a loyal First Order leader and fighter.
I think she's going to be pissed that shiny armor must take weeks to clean. I have armor. It's hard to keep clean. I mean, I can just imagine what she jumped into.
Yeah. Like that'd be a lot of toothpaste to shine up your armor.
Yeah. Not happy. Look, Your Highness, you discovered a new smell. That's a quote from another movie.
Right. There you go.
So we have to ponder what's really going on with him being in jail, and does this mark him for a character death? If not him, then is someone else going to die in his place?
Yeah.
That's also another possibility. As for the judicials, hey, a new suit design is always fun.
Yeah.
Just as long as they have a real purpose other than like some people in red just ominously standing there not doing anything, like we saw.
Well, they're probably going to do something.
Finally.
Finally.
Years, decades.
Yeah. But like in Rogue One, I liked the Death Troopers who were accompanying Krennic. So yeah, like I'm a comic book guy, I'm a Batman fan. So if I ever have the money to buy a cool statue, I'd look into it. But I can only imagine the Star Wars fans out there looking at all these cool hot toys, all these cool statues to add to their collection, add to their shelf. And so hopefully these judicials are intimidating looking enough. But like I say, we try to avoid set photos, at least I do.
Same here.
So plus they're always grainy and not very well focused. So I'm gonna wait for an official studio look at these new troops before I even think about taking a look at them.
Well, on the fact about suit designs brings us to our next point that we were going to cover is Captain Phasma.
Yeah, speak of the devil.
And whether or not we will actually get to see Gwendolyn Christie's pretty face.
Yeah, Pablo Hidalgo, speaking at Comic-Con Chile, had this to say about Captain Phasma, quote, "For those of you wondering, I saw the behind-the-scenes photo." He was referring to the Vanity Fair photo shoot for Last Jedi. Saw the behind-the-scenes photo of Gwendolyn Christie, and that's not necessarily what Phasma looks like without her helmet. but I will say that she is a human female, end quote. So we might get a look at Phasma, and she does not quite look like Gwendoline Christie in real life. What do you think?
Well, for me, it's always the issue that I'm going to mention another series, TV shows / movies, like Game of Thrones. In that series, she's wearing armor. She's tall person, but she has her helmet off all the time because you can emote and show the character development. Vader emoted that finally when they finally took his helmet off, but you could also see his actions emoting what his overall development and behavior was. And of course his terrifying, ominous voice. She has not struck any type of connection with me so far, but of course she was on screen for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But when Vader was on screen for a short amount of time, you definitely noticed. And I guess maybe the bar is set very high. Maybe I'm expecting too much because it's only a short time she was on screen in the first of these round of movies, and maybe the second time we'll actually see more action from her. I know she's got a different weapon, she's up to different things. Maybe that can make that bridge that I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I almost, like we were talking before the show, and I almost think it would be cool if she had a Judge Dredd type depiction where she never takes her helmet off. I don't know. Or if she does, it's only briefly in one scene. Like I was talking earlier about how cool it would be if she was interrogating Finn after he doesn't plan on getting captured.
Of course not.
No one does that. But no, it's like it could almost be like the scene where Kylo Ren first took off his helmet when he was interrogating Rey. Only this time you have Phasma take off her helmet and she's scarred and messed up and frightening and tall and imposing, and trying to like intimidate Finn into giving away information or something. So if she does take off her helmet, make it count, make it frightening and impressive.
Well, that's maybe why Mr. Hidalgo is going. She's a human female.
Okay.
Because that's maybe hinting that she has some kind of prosthetic makeup under for production value. Maybe that's exactly what it's going to be. Something that my armor is so beautiful because I am not. Kind of the double, reverse. The inside is darker than the outside. Dorian Gray kind of play on wearing armor.
Or like I love me some 1950s sci-fi B movies, and maybe they could maybe this is a fake out, and it's going to be like the unmasking of the Fly in the 1958 Fly movie. Just take off that mask real quick, and no, it's some frightening, hideous thing.
Or I was thinking of the TV sci-fi, the movie, the series, The Prisoner.
Never saw it.
Once again, I have a list of things for you to watch, man.
A lot of people have a list
where
of
he works his way to the organization of number one, and he rips off number one's mask. And that's a great spoiler I'm not going to give you.
No, don't do that.
But it's one of those things that you keep waiting for that reveal. I would hate to think. I like Gwendoline Christie. I think she's a great actress. But I'm just curious about it because of, once again, the connection. Now, on the other hand, I did have a Venture Brothers moment where she never takes the helmet off, and she's like hanging out in bikini with just the helmet on. Sorry, brain wondered she never takes the mask off. But I don't know. Maybe it is, like I said, it's a Dorian Gray thing. That the armor outside is so beautiful because that shiny armor is nice. Look, it's great. I mean, the new trooper armor. I'm using the wrong term, but First Order armor. They look sleek. They look smooth. They look machine-like, and it goes all the way back to the psychology of warfare. When people talked about the helmets that the ancients wore, where they were completely devoid of faces, and a lot of people. And when I'm talking ancient world, I'm talking like 500 BC, like the Spartans, Mycenaeans. They purposely left them blank. And then other peoples in later times made their faces hideous. So you can see that they had the ability to do it. But for the Spartans, and maybe even the concept behind troopers, is the fact they look, as a unit, completely non-human. They look insectoid almost. They look, there's no way you can negotiate with them. You can't plead with them. You can't do any of those things, and that affects the psychology of the soldiers. They do become robotic and machine-like. Because, once again, when the veil goes down, it's like wearing that Halloween mask. You will do and say things in, anonymity. The internet's a prime example of the power of anonymity.
Yeah.
how vicious we get when we don't think anyone will ever know who we are. So, you know, you can get Freudian or Jungian on the whole, like this could even link into The Purge. But the fact that she's wearing the same helmet design, but different. And has that unique mirror-like quality. And so you could, I could extrapolate on the psychology behind that, what that possibly could mean, or it could just be, quite frankly, they thought, no, she was really into chrome and shiny things.
You know, I feel like somewhere along the line in the special features, they were talking about how the Phasma concept was an early design for Kylo Ren, and they scrapped it, but they loved the look of it so much, they decided to use it for her character instead. So
it's also the fact with mirrored surfaces, we find it distracting to see ourselves. You know?
Yeah.
I've always found it, you know, her armor of all the most intriguing. Now, Darth Vader's armor I thought was kick-ass as a kid, always did. Boba Fett's not so much, but you know. And when I was growing up, everyone loved the Stormtrooper armor. Just everyone wanted it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. You know, it's one of those things do the writers then listen in on critic shows going, we should have wrote that in. Next press conference, this is the deep answer I'm going to give. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
But now we have the announcement about Force Friday 2.
Yeah, this is our final item here. Fourth Friday 2 is happening soon. Jamie has a note to check out StarWars.com for the latest places to take part in Fourth Friday 2. Each place will have different stuff, so check out everything. So you can check your local Disney Store, Walmart, Target, Hot Topic, or Toys R Us for all the new toys and stuff that are coming out. And we were talking before about how some things have slipped out already. I saw there's a preview of a action figure for Snoke, which seems regular sized and not the imposing giant.
Or tiny.
Or
for tiny.
Yeah, or Jamie's little theory that he's actually secretly a little tiny little being.
Has height issues.
Yeah. Takes the Napoleonic complex to a new level. But we have that. We also have a evil BB-8 that they've unveiled today, which is more black and gray and with like a flatter head. And I might have even seen a tidbit where someone said that good BB-8 is going to meet up with evil BB-8 in The Last Jedi. And so, hey, that's a confrontation I can get into, man.
I saw a grainy photo of them side by side.
Oh.
And you know, it's one of those things when I was researching stuff for the show, it's like, this is why I don't like, as we were talking among ourselves here, why we don't like these leaked, and I use leaked a lot in quotations, because sometimes I think it's just to keep the fans soaked. I really do. The First Order BB-8 looks kind of slick and evil, as we all expect Alexa in our future lives to be controlling us. You know? Yeah, it's kind of that, not so friendly. Orange is a much friendlier color than black. That's just...
There we go.
Yeah, UT picked well, you know, just not that I attended UT. So, for all your new toys, now remember we were talking about if we had the budget to have every toy, you know, sealed in cases on the walls, you know, this is one of those days that you need to look forward to get your collection. And remember, Christmas literally is not that far away.
Yeah.
You could actually go and think about Christmas gifts for your favorite, I don't know, Sith the Jedi, once again, are a controversial term now.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I'm already getting excited for all the Justice League statues and stuff that they have in the works. So, like I say, I'll be focused on my DC stuff as far as statues and presents go. But yeah, best of luck to everyone on Fourth Friday too to see all the stuff that you want to add to your collection.
So definitely check that out and reach out to all those other people. And you got anything else, James?
I don't. Pretty good news day. But nothing more to add. But looking forward to seeing everything unveiled. Like I said, we just see those two new toys out right now. And we'll just see how everything plays out, and hopefully we'll get some good books in the works as well. Again, I'm starting to get excited for the idea of a Leia book if it's along the lines that I laid out. So you know.
Now this is late in the show, but I need to bring up. I was having dinner with someone who works for somebody,
there you go.
And they were talking about this year is going to be kind of unprecedented because they have a release in May and then December for movies.
Yeah.
with the the Han Solo movie and the Last Jedi. So this is really going to be the rarest of the year for Lucas fans, for products, novels, everything. This is the big. He said this is the really big push, and he's in the industry and he works.
Try to protect your source here, buddy.
I am, yeah. And he works, as I said, in the industry, and he's more on the production side.
Okay.
So he was very serious. This is the year that this is going to be the bumper, if you want to use the term bumper crop of Lucas stuff. So this is going to be the time that you may have maybe one time to get a lot of these items. Because if you know Mr. Lucas, sometimes he likes to take things off the shelf, and Disney has followed his advice and taken things off the shelf as well. I mean, everyone's heard of the Disney Vault, where they'll put things away for like 10 years, then re-release it against a competitor.
Yeah. Or like that George Lucas museum piece we went over some shows back, how he gets like one of everything.
One of everything.
Yeah.
So if especially on like Force Friday 2 days, definitely check to see. There may be some secret releases of unique items. This is the year for like really unique things to come out.
Yeah, and I hadn't thought of that, and as someone who likes tracking movie release dates and speculating about them, I feel bad about that. But you're right. This is the first time we're going to have 2 Star Wars movies come out within 6 months of each other.
Never done before.
Yeah, no, it's like because Force Awakens and Rogue One, those are both in December, 1 year apart. So yeah,
this is really cool.
truly unprecedented.
So definitely save your pennies. Christmas is around the corner. Be strategic, I guess. You got anything else?
Oh man, now I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of Black Friday or Cyber Monday deals coming out for everybody.
I hope so.
Could be a pretty big shopping season.
I hope so. We could use a little more mirth in our lives currently, so let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. Hopefully something unique will come out.
There we go.
Yeah, so patience should be rewarded.
There we go.
That's all we have for today.
Yeah. And again, I'll be on the lookout for any way you can help the people who have been impacted by Hurricane Harvey, be it financially or with a food contribution, clothing, diapers, everything. Again, everything adds up, folks, and let's try to help our fellow Texans and everyone who's in need. Thank you for joining us today. Sean, why don't you take us out?
All right, guys, be safe out there. Reach out and do what you can to help everybody out. This is James. I'm Sean. We'll see you next Friday.
Good night.